It's called Unstuck, and it's a clock that has been re-engineered, and it basically tries to be an experiment on issues of controls, on time, of course, and somehow our perception of what's this so-called time consciousness. So you have these words and sounds that are thrown at you from many different directions, and somehow try to interact with a non-linear vision of time. So you have what I think is past memories and anticipation of the future, and the unfolding of the present in a non-linear way. And somehow it tries to simulate what goes on in your mind as an alternative perception of time. So we are used to categorize time in most cultures as a linear flow that goes from the past to the future, and then this point of the present. But of course, I think, in my vision, this is just an attempt to control something that is very natural, but we don't really understand how it works. You know, time is the ultimate supernatural being. It's like we deal with it, we live with it, and we don't really know what it is and how it works. So we try to control it, we try to measure it, but it's a struggle that we keep on living with. This impossible attempt to dominate time. So these issues of controls for me are a big inspiration, and I work a lot with these concepts of controlling something that, you know, exists inside of us or outside of us, and that there is always some issues of making something chaotic, chaos is like universal chaos, into an order that we create. So whether it's time or, you know, feelings that we experience and we don't know where they come from, we always try to make an order, make them in a way that we can see them, understand them, and control them. So with this work, I wanted to try and give somehow an experience of what is time, but unrelated from our desire to control it and put it into a label and scheme and little diagram. So it's an experience of time that comes from everywhere, and there is this lack of control, this randomness, right? So it works with both language and sound and movement, of course. I think what I'm trying to do is have this kind of 2 and 3 different media come together, creating this simulation of our time consciousness, basically. Text come from a personal recollection of a memory of mine that I laid down in a linear way, sort of a diary of mine. And I took all these words and scattered them around the flaps of the clock. So creating this generative, non-linear text. And its meaning keeps on mutating from the original one, making different connections because of the different text that gets displayed at different times. And somehow this is more the way that I think we work. You know, like when you see something, everything that you experience that reminds you of something, so you have all this different input from the past, from the present, and anticipation of the future, and this is somehow the way that I wanted it to work. And another thing is that this clock is actually also a used clock and has this glitch. One of the flap cannot turn, so one is always trying to move, but it's always stuck in time. So I really like this one specifically because it's like gives this sense of either trying to stop time or trying to you know, like get out of a certain system that we built for measuring time. So instead of going tack 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 tack, you have this flap that never moves. It's the one where it says like the phone starts to ring. So it's like an eternal moment of anticipation of something that's about to happen.